Survivor's Remorse after showtime. This is AFTERBUZZ TV. Who is the daddy? Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
On the bedroom floor cause he's hungry, and the only way to feed him is to sleep with a man for a little bit of money in his daddy's home. Somewhere smoking rock now, in and out of lockdown. I ain't got a job now, so for you this is just a good time, but for me this is what I call life. Hey,
y'all, I was just saying I need Claudette to get on the mic again,
Right?
Because Claudette,
She could sing, and she was very cute, very cute too. Yeah, there was another song that they had. What was it?
I want to say she had one with Life Jennings too, where she just like tore it up.
I think I.
5'5" with your thick thighs.
Oh,
Every time you got me hypnotized.
Yeah. That was a jam too. That was a jam. See, I could get it back together and do a little album. I'd be all right with it, you know. I'd be all right.
What's going on, everybody? Y'all are tuned into the Survivor's Remorse after the show. We are your hosts. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. So right before I hop in, I am your host, Jimmy V. Instagram, Twitter, @BeYourOwnDad. Where can they find you?
Hello, everybody. I'm Shaprintace Lynn. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter @Shaprintace Lynn with 2 N's.
And I am Gary Thomas, and of course, all over the airwaves, I am Gary Thomas, and of course, I am GaryThomas.com.
So this is the second to last episode until the season's over, guys.
So sad I won't be back next week for the season finale.
Yes.
It's been a long run of 3 seasons.
We've been holding it down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Squad.
Yeah.
Squad.
Squad.
But as this season, they're not going out without a bang. I don't think they are.
This is definitely
This episode, I got hit with so much jabs and hooks. I was like,
right?
Damn.
Yeah. I didn't see this coming.
I like it though. I wish they introduced this stuff earlier in the season though, because now it's recap. It's starting to get deep.
They did a good flashback of how he's so close to Healy, so that was kind of cool. Like like going back to that, giving us a little bit more information.
Yeah.
Which too, that was the first time we ever saw them go do some type of flashback thing.
Mm-hmm.
That made
within the first 3 seasons or so. I think so.
Yeah.
So I was like,
something that really made sense like that.
Yeah. It kind of just hit me by surprise.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of getting the storyline, kind of, at the end here. But, you know, at least we're getting something.
We're getting something. We're getting more than we're typically getting from Survivor's Remorse. And they really jam-packed a lot into 29 minutes.
They did. Like, and each person's story just got longer, extended.
Yeah.
But there was some serious scenes, though.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Especially the mothers, of course. I mean...
out of all the years I've been watching Tashina, you know, acting from Martin to different things, man, this is the first time I say she really snatched my heart out of my chest. Like I was just like,
real talk.
Like you really have just like taken the years of being a veteran actress and just
put it
all into this script right here. And I was just so amazed and just like I couldn't take my eyes off of her and just like, whoa, like she really did a great job with that.
Yeah,
I
didn't see this one coming. I saw like I usually can feel like I usually can call what is about to happen and pretty much predict what it is. But this one, when we were talking about, you know, trying to figure out who M. Chuck's father was, I never would have thought
this would be it.
I mean, I didn't think Survivor's Remorse was going to take it there. I didn't.
This was such a topic. They really went there. Like really went there.
And the story too.
Not just that.
How many times?
But multiple.
But you know,
multiple,
we have that issue going on right now, you know, especially with the white privileged young man who just got out of jail for 3 months, you know, so it's really relevant right now. And that's what Survivor's Remorse really does, tag on some really relevant issues, and they take the more edgy issues and kind of put their spin on it, it's not out of character, but it really was surprising for us because they really went there.
Very surprising.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And then also, as we saw earlier in the episode 2, I liked how the whole situation with Reggie and brain freeze. Reggie and Missy started whole nice in the picnic park. They was getting on their freaky side. Let's go, boom, boom, and then bam.
I love Missy too. I love Tiana. I love her.
She's a soldier.
I love her.
She holds it down.
That's how you
she
be a
really
wife.
holds it down.
That is how you do it.
And then they got the phone call.
Yeah.
And things went I liked how she didn't tell him at first. You know,
I was wondering if she was
still
going
go.
to.
Yeah, I was.
But her honesty really like was the best part about it. She came out and said it, like, you know, he called, like, because she could have kept it to herself. And then that could have been a whole nother situation.
But it looked like she couldn't keep it in. It looked like it literally was like, I gotta tell
On
him.
her mind,
and that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah.
What'd you guys think of the way she handled the conversation on the phone?
You always gotta have your man back on.
I'm right there. I'm right there. Like, she did the right thing.
She's like, how you get this number?
Lose it.
Right.
You know he told us that he ain't fooling with you.
Hey.
I got a second.
You know
She knows she wanted to call her home. Girl, I wanted to have that conversation, but he already shut that one down.
Right.
that definitely. But as we saw, they ended up telling Reggie, and he goes into straight. I think he just shut down. Like, we are closing now. Everybody get out the store. I'm talking.
He did.
Party over. Get out.
Get out.
He did.
Because wifey tried to support him, try to be there for him. He's like, nah.
I love that.
I did too,
said,
because
let me
I
take
could
some of that hurt
relate.
away.
Yeah.
I could definitely really, because damn, that bad boy was tough.
You know, I think that's it, because Jimmy knows how passionate I am about like helping men overcome hypermasculinity, and just to see like how he shuts down, how this wife tries to step in and say, like, let's talk about this. Like, you got to express yourself, and I'm willing to take some of this pain away, because you don't have to be this type of person.
You don't have to
hold it all
strong.
in. Yeah.
Exactly.
I was just like, this is a powerful moment right here that, you know, they're kind of gracing over it a little quick, but if you really are paying attention to the lines,
that's right.
you really
It's
see
probably
it.
something everyone probably in a relationship at some point has to deal with.
That every man needs,
yeah,
you know?
every man, where you as a woman, like trying to get your man to express himself and trying to get your man to, you know, not be so hard. You don't have to be so hard. Not around
I gotta
me.
be a thug 24/7
No.
though.
But see,
I gotta be. Come on.
That's the problem, because society has forced us into a type of man, especially black men.
Me and
that
Gary
we
talk about
never
this,
created this idea of who we're supposed to be. So we grow up thinking this, and like, so he's shutting down even with his wife.
And you
know?
can't be that strong. You have to know. And I heard this at church today. Shout out to one church, Pastor Jory Robert.
One time.
PT do get through to you on some things.
You have to know when there's a place and time to be vulnerable.
Because it's power in it.
And it is. It's power in being vulnerable. And if men could just learn how to, you know, you have to, yes, I get it. Being a black man, you have to be strong. But you ain't got to be strong all the time. Like, find that one person or that's two people.
On Cat Williams, I'm sorry. You gang banging on bacon? I know what you mean.
But you don't have to. At least in front of your wife.
This is the moment where you shouldn't be able to let your guard down.
You should be. Especially too,
off.
the conversation is deep. Sober, the dad came back sober, so which means he was drunk the whole part of probably him
his whole life
growing up, becoming a man, and to think of the man that Reggie is now, and he did that on his own. That's a lot.
And then the fact that Reggie still had energy and had enough.
My man had a full Muhammad Ali workout afterwards.
And then went to go help Cam.
Yeah.
See, here's where it turned for me, you know.
This is
This is my favorite part.
Kind of the episode really turned for me, because
I was like, wait, are we still watching Survivor's Remorse?
Yeah, like it really turned for me because there's a couple reasons. I feel like, you know, being a man and like, you know, being so hard in how we treat women, you know, it's a very pivotal moment in a lot of a lot of male lives when we learn someone close to us has been raped.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that changes our whole perspective on women and life, and it just really it hits you hard. And we see that at first. But I didn't really like how we didn't explore those emotions in that situation with her, and kind of like seeing, you know, how he changes and how he views his mother.
Yeah.
It switched completely something like self-centered around Cam.
Yeah,
well,
it was so
And
I think
it's like we're hitting too many issues all in one episode.
I do think that. I do
But
think.
what happened, and it's like kind of like life. How often does someone a female go to a man and tell him she's been raped, and they do nothing about it really, or not really process those emotions, you know, and that's a hard-hitting part of life. Like, we don't believe them, we don't do these different things, and we didn't explore that. It flipped to something mainly about him.
Yeah, I think that was a natural defensive technique. I was about to make up a word. I think it was just something that Cam's not ready to confront that, so he just went straight to...
Are you confronting the fact that you weren't strong enough to keep your baby, although your mother was strong enough to keep hers?
Maybe that's what it was.
I didn't even
Are you realizing that you're not as strong as your mother is?
Oh, I get it. I see what you did there, Survivor's Remorse. I get it now.
Even as a man, you're not as strong as this woman was?
Exactly.
Come on.
Damn.
Come on, y'all.
Gary just brought up something crazy. I did not think of that.
Can we not see that how black women can be so much more powerful than us because they have just a different perspective on life? Like, you know, and then we got a Becky with the good hair.
Becky with the good hair.
Becky with the good hair was more. The whole relationship was more interesting than all the things with Allison. Like, come on, Becky with the good hair. Come on back. Come on, Becky. Come on back. Yeah,
Come on back.
Right. Yeah, fly down from Seattle. We can see Becky with the good hair. You know.
I get it. Yeah, I get what you're saying there.
I do. Yeah.
You know, I think that was you got to really start paying attention to Survivor's more, especially when we go into the next season, because I feel like it's like onion peels. Like they're peeling away,
real talk.
And it's like a lot more deeper things that you just kind of pay attention to what the writers are trying to do,
and
it's like
what they're actually trying to say.
Yeah. Like
Wow.
interpretation is like big right now because they're just exploring way more things with the script.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I like that.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
That made me change it a little bit though.
Yeah, it does.
But that part though, y'all, for real though, it was funny. Like that
where
was.
he's all right. So
so
he started smoking some weed. In my notes, Cam smoking that weed, right? And it got switched to him taking some LSD.
Like, who be just popping mitts when they hitting the blunt anyway?
As soon as I saw him go in there, I'm like, why would you think Uncle Julius would have
just got some breast strips right here. Just a breast strip.
Yeah, they got nothing in it. Nothing.
This is what had me tripping. I'm like, he's just smoking weed. So what's going on with all this? Him seeing stuff and blah, blah, blah. It wasn't until afterwards I understood that's why he was tripping.
He's like, I'm sinking into the
Yeah, I was like, bro, all you did was smoke. What you talking about?
I was wondering a couple things about that situation too. Like, hey, why is Uncle Julius's room still
the same? Yeah.
Like, it's
they haven't touched nothing.
We haven't grieved. We're pretty much not over the grieving process. Like, that should be something that they should touch on. And two, it also made me realize, find out Cassie's story, just how close they were, like why they were so close. Her and Julius, situations in their lives have brought them closer where they had. That's why she's taking it so hard.
Yeah. I ain't think about that too.
That
Uncle
that's why
Julius probably
she's there.
knew the whole story. Yeah.
This is why Uncle Julius is the only man Chuck knows.
Yeah,
only father figure for both of them.
He
really.
wasn't there to protect her, so now he's not leaving her side. So she's even more hurt now because he did leave her.
Yeah, and speaking of Chuck, matter of fact, all this started because she wanted to find out the truth. She was trying to take advantage of mom going away with Chen, which the conversation Chen and Cam had was the first time in a while he said good luck in the first round. That was the first time we ever heard where he was basketball wise. So then timeline, they finally gave us a hint like, okay, he's about to go into the
playoffs.
Yeah, but besides that, everything's off the court though.
Yeah.
But so they pretty much try to take advantage of the time, and I think she wanted to do it behind her back because obviously she tried to talk to her and she said no. And how do you guys think she's gonna take the news?
Yeah, that was gonna be my question.
I can't imagine.
I don't know.
We seen how Cam took it. You think she'll take it even?
Well, we
I don't
know that
if more worse is a word.
I don't know if she's gonna outwardly take it worse. I think it's something she's gonna have to we're gonna discover in her therapy session because you know how Chuck's character kind of is. She's gonna act like she's okay with it.
Yeah.
But her, eventually we're gonna see that it's starting to tear away at her.
You think so? I think she's gonna have an immediate reaction. I think it's either gonna be immediate anger for whatever reason, or immediate just hurt and just she's gonna break down.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be either. I don't know if she's gonna internalize it like she does everything else.
And it's, you know what, with this whole situation, man, that when Cassie said, there's nothing in this whole effed up world, you cannot tell me I don't love my kids.
Yeah.
That is a really powerful statement, because we always sometimes misconstrue what our mothers have to do to take care of us, or how they treat us, or how they raise us, as a what, like, oh, do they really love me? And they put me on punishment. And like, that was such a thing for her to say, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what that girl always says about me, you can't tell me that I don't love her. Look
Which
what I
is now
did.
why we understand in the past episodes why she's been so standoffish, I guess, towards her daughter, especially when obviously talking about that topic, because that must have been horrible for her.
It's a daily reminder.
But yeah,
it's gotta frighten her
exactly.
to know that it's becoming this close to her having to actually tell this. She probably thought this day would never come where she would ever have to tell her daughter, this is what really happened. This is how you got here. And now that M. Chuck's so like keen on, I need to find out who my dad is. I think
you're pressing on this bad memory for her. You know,
every single
She's
time you
reliving
bring it up too.
exactly.
and that's probably why Chin is taking her away, because he probably notices like, okay, let's go on a trip. Or,
It's getting heated, you know, in the house.
yeah.
This episode, it filled up a lot of gaps.
Yeah.
It did.
It did.
It did.
It cleared some stuff up a lot.
Can we just talk about this wig that Cam had on? It was a hot mess.
Oh, the back in
it
the
was
day
probably
wig.
worse than the braids on
Looking
Tyler
like-
Perry that Shamar Moore had. Come on, like this wig.
Not the
This wig. Why, man? Why did he have to have a shiesty fro in high school?
They was not fooling anybody.
No, not at all.
So
Like,
once again, the whole back in the day, it kind of shocked me with the whole flashback, which Cam had sex with her in school. Once again, I didn't think that story matched up to where he is as a person now.
no, it didn't say anything
Because-
about who he
No.
is.
Well, just like in season 1, we saw him smashing girls on the couch, and then that completely switched as season 2 and 3
Like,
went along.
I would have. I think that the whole thing with Allison would have been a lot more interesting if we had known that he had been in love before, and they would have some struggles with him
I
falling
think so
for
too.
her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They gotta pull on this storyline or get this chick up out of here. I don't want to see Tandy in next
more.
season unless y'all get it together.
Coming out of
y'all better
nowhere
bring
like,
Becky
hey.
with the good hair
Right.
back.
Tandy better have had an
with the
abortion.
good hair,
Something better.
strong.
Something
Right. She had
need
the
to
heart.
happen.
You know?
She said, I know what I want to do. Cam was like, okay.
All right. Tandy don't even have no type of backbone. You got Becky come up in here and take the show? Take the show?
Let me ask you, coming from a female perspective, I guess, that situation, how would you want a man to respond to it? Like, I don't.
Like, if I was Becky, what is her real name? I'm not gonna call her Becky with the good hair.
Healy, I think.
Healy's the last name.
Healy's daughter.
The daughter.
I don't. That's hard to say. I don't, cause if it was me, I would be so set in my ways. Like, listen, I feel her. Like, I'm not ready to be a mother. So this is my body. I gotta go through this. But at the end of the day, it's not just, I didn't make this being on my own too. So I do have to respect that. But I guess in that situation, I would want my partner to be supportive and understand that it is my body, but I also want you to have your own opinion too.
It is your body, but I think a lot of times people forget that,
is
he
it's a
hurts
being.
just as much because it's his kid too.
Exactly.
You see, we don't often see a lot of situations where, where women have miscarriages or abortions, and we see how the man is really, really hurt by this whole situation.
Which is why at the end we find out there's this void that he has and he doesn't understand why. And they kind of brought that up when the conversation they were having on the phone, and she was like, Cam, you don't have to feel any type of way towards this. But he's like, but I do, and I don't know why.
Because he never addressed it. Probably because he feels like
He probably dug that down so
Yeah.
deep. He was,
But shouldn't the show have explored some resentment that he had towards her and women?
maybe
Let me get in this
towards-
writer's room. Let me
maybe
get
not
in
towards
this.
women,
Let me
but
get in this
maybe
writer's
towards her.
room. Like, you know, it's so many emotions that, you know, I think the 29 minutes is not a long time. You know,
Yeah.
I
This
see
was
what they're
more
trying to
like
do.
an hour episode,
this
and
is-
they
I was
jam
mad
packed
at
so
how it
much
ended.
stuff
Right.
in there.
And I know they get into the editing room and they take out some things, but I mean, it's just so much that this show could really, really do because it just has that potential.
Yeah.
Just the way they hit on social issues. And I really loved how they include the line that Healy says, you know, like respecting other people's opinions, you know, just like they have to respect you being here to take this baby away just as much as you have to respect their opinion that they don't want people doing this. And that's something we miss in life too. You know, they hit some good stuff in this episode.
And you know what it is too? If the men don't speak up on it, what's going through the female's head is especially being a black female. I can't speak for other cultures. But at the end of the day, you gotta think, coming from it, you see it all day. At the end of the day, it's gonna be just me and this baby. He could go away and just, you know, do what most men that we've seen in our life do, which is just walk away from a situation. So, and if a man speaks up and said, no, I want this baby, then you have no idea how that can change the female's mind. She's thinking, okay, he's here for me. I don't have to do this by myself now. I have someone here to help me with it. You decided that you want this baby, so that means you decided you'll be here with me to raise this baby. Men just
But
gotta
also,
speak up a little. Speak up too. It's your decision.
and we also see a lot of times where it's like the guy forcing her into the abortion. You know, like usually that's what we
Yeah.
usually see. But she is the one.
The norm,
forefront of
yeah.
this
And I think
decision.
that's
the
more
opposite.
true to real life. I
Yeah.
think that is more true to today's age. In today's age, it's more so and I could be wrong, but I think, you know, it's more so the women making the decision for themselves and for their bodies, and not so much the men. And I think they're getting gypped out of being able to be a part of that decision.
Yeah, I think it's clear this wasn't a baby boy type. Jody, you made me lose the baby. It wasn't that apparently. So I hate you, Jody. But this episode, all in all, I did write down one thing. They mentioned the word cunt. Is that a white people word? I thought that was a funny.
What
just
are we?
because I hear that.
Come on now,
often.
Jimmy. Now we
hear
are
it
pro black.
often.
I'm sure we all pro black here, but we are not gonna say white people words. You know,
Right. True,
Like,
but that's often
Words
a
are words.
discussion though. True,
people
you know,
are people.
that's it.
Cunt is a word that many people use.
I don't use it.
I don't
Maybe they
think
don't use
is
it over in Bean Town.
I don't think cunt.
It's not. I'm not a fan either of the word. Like I'm not just rolling off my tongue.
I don't think it's as popular in the black community as it is in other cultures.
True. Agreed.
I just you asked the question.
put that the right way, like
I'ma
the
be
right way.
honest.
My textbook answer to this.
I don't think.
So the commenters don't start calling me a racist.
Right. Listen, in my neighborhood, we say that word. That's all I need. That's all I know. Okay.
I think we need to talk a little bit about this whole Reggie thing. Like, first of all, I feel like, you know, we could have got a little bit more out of this situation from the show.
little bit more
This is so
history.
much more. This could have been an episode in itself. You know, the whole Reggie thing with his dad,
yeah.
Reggie and his wife, and just the whole situation of handling it. It was just like, scene here, scene there. Scene
It's
here,
like
scene there, you know.
they
like,
did something big for each character. I think.
Reggie
that's
could have.
about it.
But I
He
think
didn't
they
get enough
each
time.
deserve their own episode for that, because we
yeah,
never
he
talk
did.
about Reggie's family. We don't
Never.
know
Exactly.
nothing
That was
about. I don't even know how he's related to Kim.
ever
Who he
brought it
related
up.
to?
Right, they just dangling the
That's a
bait in
good
front of
point.
us. They're not letting us bite onto this like right now. Like,
Where did Reggie come from?
Right.
right? Why is he so
How is he
hard?
related to Kim?
Why is he so hard in business in
Yeah.
life with his wife? Like, it's some things
Who
we need
his
to know
mama?
about Reggie.
Right.
Yeah, like who is his mama? How is Cassie related to this other man? You know, Mr. Vaughn. Like,
Oh yeah.
Papa Vaughn. Like, how, does Cassie not like this man? Did we know him before? Did he beat on him? Did he beat? Like, come on, y'all.
Was
Give
he
me,
at the
give
wedding?
me. I'm
Something.
like, I feel like with Survivor's Remorse, especially this season particularly, we have been begging for information because like they're giving us just a sprinkle when it's like, okay, I need the whole cake right now.
I need
Okay?
more,
I
exactly.
need more. Like, and I'm hoping like next season, you know, it's like okay, they're giving us like a little taste right now to see what they're gonna do next season. Like it's kind of an exploration type thing.
Because I'm gonna be real honest. There were some episodes this season where I could have did without.
Amen.
I could have did
I agree.
without the entire episode.
Agree with you too.
Like,
yeah. That's why if they took like 5 minutes out of one of these and just dropped it over there, they'd have been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lighten that episode up. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess.
It is like, you know, like, and it's just like they have the potential and the talent over there with Survivor's Remorse to do some bigger, better things with the script and just, you know, what they do in the editing room. And I think they focus so much on giving us the comedic version and the F-bombs that they miss how much we're begging for storyline.
Exactly.
How
I
much
just
we're
need
begging
some
to know
kind
the
of
characters.
story.
And like we're finally getting to a point slowly where it's like, I can love another character besides Cam.
Agreed.
You know, like it was so Cam oriented that we didn't know these people were
Season
just
1
like
was all about Cam.
But now it's like, oh, I'm falling in love for Chuck. You know, now I'm getting to know Cassie. Like I'm pulling on this story. Oh, you know, what I'm saying, so it's so much more. And like hopefully next season, you know, we can get more and more of this because it's so important to just have the character you relate to and you see through their eyes.
Oh, of course,
you know, because
yes.
Cam is not me. I don't relate to this man.
Right.
I don't see anything of me in him. So it's good to see like Reggie's story and Cassie's story and Chuck's story because like those are different parts of life that people are dealing with.
That's actually a great question. If you could relate to any character on the show, what would it be?
Oh, Chuck.
Chuck.
And a little bit of Cat. Well, I don't know. I really do like Cassie though.
Cassie, she
is amazing.
cool, yeah.
I guess Cassie. Chuck at earlier stages in my life, but more so Cassie now.
Where do you think Trinae would land?
Ah, man, Trinae.
Soldier.
I think she would relate to.
I think Cassie.
Cassie?
No, I think Chuck.
Chuck. Oh.
I think Chuck
Okay.
for Trinae. We gotta
One
ask
for Cassie.
Trinae.
Yeah, exactly. One
Yeah.
for Chuck. Where you at?
Who, me?
Yeah.
What do you think Trinae? Who you think Trinae would be?
I'm trying to think of somebody else other than Chuck or Cassie.
Well, the mother, Chuck, Cassie.
You know what? I think I see some Allison in Trinae because Trinae has
Especially
a.
for her not being here. I definitely see some
Because
Allison in there.
sometimes I feel like Trinae has a very pulled back. Like I know it's like burning inside of her to like drop some knowledge about the show, but she pulls back and she's very, you know, more ladylike, more reserved about her opinion sometimes. So I think I see a little bit of that in her too.
Interesting.
And we all know she loves Cam. She loves Jesse.
She did.
Oh, for that, then I gotta go with Allison.
Shout out to Trinae.
Right. Hopefully she'll be back next week. I'm thinking I probably relate most of Reggie.
Reggie.
Just
I can
because
see
he's
that,
a hard
Reggie.
worker, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see Reggie out of everybody. Who was you?
Aside from his father issues, I'd say Reggie too.
Reggie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't. Cam is not.
No Cam.
I don't think Cam
Nobody
is most.
Uncle Julius.
I don't think Cam is most men our age. You know, in our
No.
age group right now. I think he's way too much of aloof to be, you know, kind of the black man today.
Yeah.
Meaning,
I just don't think he's in touch with society right now in life. He's just he's really
like
he's
like
out to lunch to
wandering.
me. Yeah, he's just
Wandering,
wandering way
yeah,
more.
exactly.
And it's just too lackadaisical for me to be a black man of today.
AKA he not woke.
No.
he not woke.
No.
Well, y'all out there better wake up.
Wake up.
Cam is definitely not woke, like, at all. And, like, he doesn't have enough backbone in his opinion.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I think. If they added a little bit more confidence to Cam's
Assertiveness.
yes,
Assertiveness.
especially
Independent.
little bit more about him being dominant on the court because he's supposed to be this great basketball player that a team is surrounded, like a team was put together according to last episode because of him, which is why he got that contract in the end. So if he's that persona on the court, that should be him in life too.
Yes, and with a mother like Cassie, why are you not more woke?
Yeah,
You're from the hood. You have a mother who just
You have a
recently said to you, like,
strong mother.
women like
Why you
me who
soft?
look like
That's
me.
what we're
Why are you
saying. Why you
soft?
so soft?
soft?
Right.
Yeah, that's all.
Because Chuck is not like that.
Nah,
No.
she's
She's way
low-
more
low-key.
opinionated, more strong.
But you know what? Now that I think about it, when I look at men who have been raised or been, around very strong, assertive women, they tend to be a little bit more pulled back, a little bit more, I guess you could say, softer.
Is that because
I
Mama
can't see
did
that.
all the work? Is that it? Like,
I guess because you're around
I
strong,
mean, we obviously
assertive
have proven
women.
that Cassie's stronger than him. I mean, as far as emotionally,
Yeah,
she's stronger than
and both of them, M-Chuck too.
Yeah.
But I think maybe that's it, because I see that sometimes in certain households.
I just wish that, not to like force his character into being like necessarily pro-black, but I just wish that in this, as they touch on all these issues that are going on right now, with the script and adding a comedic version of waking their audience up, they had a main character that was woke too.
Yeah.
He's a professional athlete, and we see the power professional athletes are having right now. Colin Kaepernick, and all these athletes who are like not standing up for this, Pledge of Allegiance and the Star Spangled Banner. Give him some power. Give him some assertiveness. Make him make a decision.
I know, right?
Because he's still acting like an 18-year-old rookie. Like he's acting like how old is Cam right now? Like
season 1, where he would always throw tantrums, and he would. I think he's definitely still that person. It's just kind of died down, just because it's not all about him now.
Because he has too much going around. He can't throw his fits anymore because it's too much other people's stuff going around. Maybe
I feel like that is a trait, and this is no offense to anybody, I feel like that is a trait of white men, because the world is already at your feet, but you complain about everything. You know what I mean? That's as far as white privilege would go. Not every white man is like that, of course, but to some white privileged men, I've seen that character, and I feel like that's why he's not really necessarily relatable to black men of today. That's just my opinion, And I would love to hear what the viewers think, like who they relate to,
Continue
and why.
the conversation in the YouTube comments, of course.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Or on Twitter and Instagram.
He just has a privilege that he's just not,
He's not utilizing everything that's in front of him. That's what
to have such a strong family behind him, from Uncle Julius to Reggie to Cassie. It's like
To the
Cam is
mother,
the
I
weak
mean.
link.
handed to him.
Yeah.
He's like still a bitch sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is not how we are allowed to operate right now.
Yeah.
I like
Hopefully he
that
grows up. And his teammates. Who are his teammates?
Yeah, usually you
He ain't got one
kicking with
friend
the
on the
boys.
team.
Who passes him the ball? Tell me who passes him the ball.
And that, I feel like that type of brotherhood is so important to see.
He
Like we
needs
see
that.
like teams.
Oh, it's big,
Like, how can he be the star player of this supposed team? We've never
When
seen
we
anybody
haven't
come to the
seen
house.
a
We didn't see
physical
nobody
trainer.
grieve with him. Like
Right,
his uncle died. We only saw the
owner's
Flaherty.
boss.
Yeah.
Yep.
They gotta open up. They gotta open up outside the family, because this is ridiculous. We ain't seen this man. It looked like we see him finally in the locker room. Thank the Lord.
You know what they should have done with that character's name, Juice, played by brother that stopped in. Juice, what is his name?
See, this is why we need a storyline, because I don't remember people, because there's no story. Who is Juice?
He's the black guy now that they brought him in. He opens up the door. We had him on the after
Oh, you talking about
show.
Catfish?
Yes.
You mean Squeeze?
You said Juice.
Y'all,
Squeeze the juice.
don't get at him because he don't know the show.
Squeeze the juice. Hey.
Now that's over here like thinking 2 seasons back. Like I'm like Juice. I was like Romeo.
Right.
When Romeo was on the show.
Squeeze.
But yes. So
I love Squeeze.
he kind of came out the blue. I
Yeah.
guess his
From the
backstory
past.
was they were boys back home. If they incorporated with him something about the team to kind of make that relevance.
F that.
Squeeze
Cam
is
needs to
still
grow up right
family.
now.
I need to see outside.
Cam needs to grow up right now.
Yeah.
Right now, and
Right
and give
now.
us some character, because right now he's a whiner. He's boring. I think more people are getting interested in Reggie than they are Cam as a viewer.
Cam annoys
As far-
me.
the hell out of me.
Now.
Yeah.
The hell out of me, actually. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Cam's character
You're
annoys me.
a spoiled brat.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Nobody got time for that.
No,
Yeah.
he needs to grow up. I can't watch another season of this.
I think
He gotta grow
And
up.
now we're getting, and right now the industry has so many dominating women. As far as like black female characters, we got Cookie. We have so many characters like this. We have Tracy Ellis Ross. Her character.
Yeah.
We needed a little bit more of this Cam as a black male character as a
He has to be
lead.
stronger.
We need some more from this character to get
agree.
her, fall in
Because
love
just
with.
like you have Cookie, you have Terrence right behind her.
Just as strong,
character.
yes.
You got Anthony right behind Tracy. Strong character.
Yeah.
So now we have
Cam.
Cassie and M-Chuck kind of taking the
Stepping
show.
up. M-Chuck definitely did.
Yeah, M-Chuck has definitely stolen this season.
This season,
with her
yeah.
storyline, yeah.
Yeah.
And just the acting and just
Yes.
she's been
like every time.
Yeah, nails it every time.
Every time. Yep.
Yeah. We shall see.
Yeah,
Come
I
on,
think
Survivors.
the producer of this episode, I think in like the writers' room, they said, let's give this person a try to attack the episode. That's why I think it was so different than every other episode before.
Kudos.
Like even when it started off, the scenes they chose to go back on it quick. You know about the dad. No, the coach that was sick in the car in the surgery. They chose to remind us first because obviously they would speak about it. But think about the last time they even referred to that part of the whole story.
Yeah.
Can't say it, right?
And can we just not forget that he exists right now? Like,
Yeah. It's like they brought him out of nowhere, and he had such a large part in this episode too.
Yeah.
So hey, they're switching things up, I guess. And next week is the
like,
season finale.
And this whole season just feels like a test and error, you know, type like they're just trying things out, which is kind of cool. Like I like that we're learning a lot, but it's just like this trial and error thing's
You
kind
can't
of
keep
like
doing that when you got so many other shows right on your heels.
Right.
Like,
They do,
come
especially
on Starz.
Starz.
You know, we have one of the biggest shows on Starz, so I think that in order to survive, you know, all the viewing, especially on a Sunday, it's a lot of stuff to watch on a Sunday. Power.
I'll say it,
Kardashians.
yes.
It's so much to watch on Sundays.
I would just
You
say
gotta get
this:
more.
Atlanta.
Yeah, like we are, you know, Survivor's Remorse.
I'm saying
is gonna
Survivor's
die
Remorse, you
out.
better get it
Yeah,
together.
you gotta get it together right
you
now.
gotta
Right now.
you gotta make every episode like this episode here. Like get your brain thinking or something, because either give it to us or don't.
Because even
That's
as a
all.
panel,
don't
you know,
go
we're
midway.
dying out.
Right,
Like,
exactly. Like
you know, and we've been on this for a while, you know, so we're even dying out. Imagine how the viewers are. You know?
Yeah.
oh man, yeah. So let's go right into predictions for the season finale. What do you think we're gonna see?
And now, your AfterBuzz
I
TV
have no idea.
predictions.
I'm like clueless right now too.
I have no idea.
I just really want to see M. Chuck.
I want to
That like after he gives her the news, just put the spotlight on her, and then
What do you think is gonna happen?
I think I can't see her being understanding, like, oh, I get it, like I can't see her act
right off.
yeah, exactly, no. So I think she will feel sad, but not to a point where they will overly show it. So I just say that.
I don't know. I just hope they don't make her run away. I hope they don't, I hope it's, again, I hope it's another episode where it's not so predictable. I
Yes.
just hope, some more, shockers coming. I'm like, whoa, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they said that. I can't believe. That's what I love Survivor's Remorse from the beginning, where I'm like, oh, they said that. They did that. They
went there.
They took it to that level.
So keep taking it there. Like, just keep going. Shoot, maybe M. Chuck maybe she was raped before too. Like, give me
Right.
something.
Yeah, like spice it up.
Something. So, I don't know. I don't care what y'all do. Just do something.
I'm definitely on the same boat as you guys. I want to see how M. Chuck takes this news. I think she's gonna look at herself as the big mistake. This is how M. Chuck kind of operates. So she's like, "Oh, I'm the big effing mistake, come on." You know, like that's.
Right.
I feel like that's what she's gonna feel. And she's gonna have to deal with that, and it's gonna ultimately take. Cassie's the only one that can save this girl. Like, this is the only person that she really needs to help her get over the hurdles in her life right now and understanding herself. Like, Cam can't do it. No one, her therapist is not gonna do it. Cassie is really the key to her sanity right now.
And I hope too, Survivor's Remorse does tries to really convey that, especially in the Black community, you can't keep, passing over subjects and keep saying, I'm not going to talk about it like Cassie did in this episode. I'm just not going to talk about it. I'm just going to throw it under the rug. I never plan to talk about it ever again. That helps absolutely nothing. And I think in the Black community, especially, we're so like, let's just, keep our business. We're not going to say anything. We're not going to talk about it. No, this is just what happened. I think, communication
You gotta
helps.
bring dialogue to it.
Yes.
I agree.
So people can learn.
I agree, but I think that also we need to stop beating our parents up. They were the best parent they knew how to be at the time. So stop beating her up because she didn't want to talk about something that, hurts her. She was selfish in her emotions. She still raised you. She still loved you, but she was selfish in her emotions because it tears her apart to know what happened to her. So I think that definitely needs to be addressed, but don't keep battling her. Like, it had to have been a reason. Like, if you know your parent enough, it has to be a reason why she is saying, like, I don't want to effing talk about this. She's like really going that hard about it. So you should have known. But we do need to talk about it at a certain point. And therapy would be a great thing for the family.
That would,
Yeah.
So it's gonna be an interesting season finale. Then we know that it got picked up, so it will continue after that. But where they're gonna leave it at, we did see in the previews, we actually see Cam in a basketball jersey, and that was surprising.
See, he touches the ball,
you know. So yeah. So
and we see Cassie in China, so we're about to see
Cassie in China.
See, hopefully explore interracial relationships. That'd be a little more.
That'd be dope.
Yeah,
to bring that to the TV screen, because actually she did mention, I'm going to China where there's no black people there.
She said, my grandparents would be like looking crazy.
Yeah, so that'd be dope if they kind of extended on that. So, but we got to wait and see.
We'll see
next week.
That's right.
Season finale.
So thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure you continue the conversation and leave your 2 cents in the comments.
What character do you relate to?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. There's so many to choose from. So I'm team. Who am I team? Reggie. That's right.
Why we gotta remind you who you relate to?
And I am your host, Jimmy V. I can be on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Be Around Dad. Stay up to date with everything I do.
Hello, everybody. I'm Shaprintace Lynn. I am Team Cassie.
Hey. and that's that.
And that's that. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shaprintace Lynn with 2 N's.
And of course, I am Gary Thomas, Team Reggie. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all those good things at I am Gary Thomas. And of course, IamGaryThomas.com.
And thank you guys, and see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.